Okay guys, this here is Remington, and he is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and I've had a few requests on how to trim a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and technically you're not supposed to, but you know what, if your dog's not a show dog, do what you want with it. I've already clipped his paw pads on both sides with a 40 blade, and I've already gone in between his toes and checked for mats, and those I just scissored out. I just took the scissors and clipped them out, being very careful not to clip his paw. And I already did his sanitary, his little belly trim under here, belly trim. Okay, and I've already done his little hiney area. And like I said, he's clean. He's been dried and he's been brushed. Look how cute! Oh my gosh. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to achieve this look, as opposed to this look. Okay, now the first thing you want to do is scissor around his paws. If you're going for a short look on the paws, if you like the fuzzy look, then go ahead and leave them. If not, then all you do is you comb them down, you flip the paw where you're looking at the bottom of the paw. You want to make your first cut, the front two toenails right here. You want to scissor across them first. This goes with any breed if you're trimming around the foot. Now from there, you want to follow on around, and then on the back of the paw, all the way around this way, around to the very back of the paw. Okay? Now, first, it's the same thing on this paw. Comb everything down, flip it over, make your first snip right up against the front toenails, on around, and following around the other side, all the way around the back. Okay? Now from there, what you want to do is you want to turn your dog around and face you. You want to hold this paw up, just like that, and you want to fluff it straight up in the air. You can even take your thumb and make sure you pull all the fur from between the toes up, and then really on cavies, most of the time, the only long fur there is between the toes. So you just want to make really just 3 areas you're wanting to snip. And if you fluff it up again after you've done it, you can get all the stuff that you missed first time. Okay? And you're just basically trying to make a little round, cute foot. Okay, and that achieved that. So then you want to stand them up if they've set like he has, and you want to lift this back foot and do the same thing with the back foot. Fluff it straight up, pull all the extra hair forward from between the toes. Okay, and then you want to make your snips right in between the toes where the fur is coming from, just like that. Okay, once you've got the feet trimmed, and you want to start on the feathers, I recommend thinning shears. Scissors a little bit, but mostly thinning shears. What you want to do on their tail, if you want to trim it, if you don't want to trim it, that's fine too. But you pull it down and you scissor it off straight, okay, to where it's not, his was touching the ground. And then you want to lift it. I just blow on the tail and it'll separate it, part it for you. And then you want to comb it straight. And then you want to take your scissors and however long or short you want it, just trim it straight back. How it makes a nice little curved flag for him to wag around. But yet that's keeping it off the ground and out of the muck and dirt. Another thing I already did that I didn't show you was they wanted this fur. A lot of Cavaliers have a lot of extra fur in front of their ear canal here. And all I did was take my thinning shears and just thin that out to where he's got some good airflow in there to keep his ears nice and clean. Okay? And then on his body, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my comb. I'm going to comb everything down to a natural state. And then I'm going to start on his belly. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find his little tuck up, his little belly tuck up here. And I'm going to clear it out a little. And then I'm gonna just follow the shape of his body, his chest, with my thinning shears. You want to keep your thinning shears moving, because if you stay in one spot for too long, you're going to end up with a hole, a naked spot. So you want to keep them moving. Okay, that's kind of got his belly. Now, this stuff right here, this feathering, is all uneven and choppy, so I'm going to take that a little bit shorter and neaten it up with my thinning shears. Thinning shears are kind of fun, really. It reminds me a lot of sculpting, but you're just sculpting out of fur instead of clay or wood or whatever you normally sculpt out of. I don't guess you sculpt out of wood, you carve wood. You gotta find the dog in there. Find the dog. And he's a very good dog. Back here, all I'm doing is, he had a lot of overhang that came over his little bum here and hung down kind of long. And all I'm doing is going along and just kind of neatening that to his leg. Not any shorter than the rest of his body, but just making them all one length. Because Cavaliers have a tendency to be real uneven. And if you're not shaving them down, then the next step is just basically to kind of thin out the feathers a little bit to where they're even and not flowing everywhere. Okay, then I've got my scissors now, and this fuzz back here, this is the hawk. Okay, and what you want to do is you want to fluff it out, scissor it pretty clean to the back of the leg there, back of the hawk. You want to do it a couple times because it's guaranteed you're going to miss something. When you're scissoring down like that on fur that lays down, you're going to miss it. So do it a couple times. And he says, that tickled. That tickled. Now I know you want to say, here we go. You want to scissor straight down and make it nice and smooth against the back of the leg there. So you just don't need a bunch of fuzz back there gathering leaves and dirt and grass. So that's basically your back leg. Now, to trim this stuff right here, these feathers on the back of the front leg, okay, comb it all down in the back there, and then just snip it off even with the foot so nothing's hanging over the paw when he's standing. See how that changed the appearance of it? It's not hanging down on the ground anymore. And then I'm back to my thinning shears. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to comb everything back. And I'm going to start. You don't want to put it clean up to his leg because Cavaliers tend to have real skinny legs, and nothing wrong with that by any means, but they look a little funny when they still have fur all over their body if you're going to take their leg real skinny like that. So you want to stay out just a little bit from the leg, if that makes any sense at all. I apologize if it doesn't. And start thinning just to shorten that stuff up so it's not dangling on the ground and it's not hanging and picking stuff up when they come in and out from the yard. Just like that is basically, you see anything funny sticking out that's not sticking out anywhere else, you just, if it doesn't belong, take it off. That is basically how you do the side profile. Okay? Now, the front, he doesn't have a real hairy chest, but I'm just going to look down here and see if it matches up with what I trimmed underneath. And it's a little longer, so I'm going to take my thinning shears in here and just neaten it, just a hair. So, that is basically how you would trim, scissor trim, or hand trim a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. And this is basically the finished product. Hi, handsome. And there's my phone. That's my cue to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.